Welcome to Preschool Storytime Online. I'm Miss Angela from the Santa Rosa County Library System. Our theme this week is pets. Let's start by singing our welcome song. Ready? Now it's time for story time, story time, story time. Now it's time for story time at your house. Our first book today is What Pet Should I Get? It is written and illustrated by Dr. Seuss and read with permission from Penguin Random House. What pet should I get? We want a pet. We want a pet. What kind of pet should we get? Dad said we could have one. Dad said he would pay. I went to the pet shop. I went there with Kay. And so we went in. I took one fast look. I saw a fine dog who shook hands. So we shook. So I said, I want him. But then Kay saw a cat. She gave it a pat and she said, I want that. Then Kay said, now what do you think we should do? Dad said to pick one. We cannot take home two. Then what do you know? We saw two other kinds. Now how could Kay and I make up our minds? A pup and a kitten? They looked like good fun. Now which would we pick? We could only pick one. Make up your mind. The cat or the dog? The kitten, the pup? Oh boy, it is something to make a mind up. Then I looked all around. I saw something with wings. I said, look at him. We can pick one that sings. But then, look over there, said my sister Kay. We can go home with a rabbit today. Then I looked at Kay. I said, what will we do? I like all the pets that I see, so do you. We have to pick one pet and pick it out soon. You know, Mother told us to be back by noon. And I could have done it. I could have, I bet. I could have said what pet we should get. But you know what Kay did. Do you know what she did? She said, fish, 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 fish. It may be a fish is the pet that we wish. Then I saw a new kind and they were good too. How could I pick one? Now what should we do? We could only pick one. That is what my dad said. But how could I make up that mind in my head? Make up your mind. Pick a pet fast. Pick one out soon. Mother and Dad said to be home by noon. The time may be now to make up my mind, but who knows what other good pets I might find. I might find a new one, a fast kind of thing, who would fly round my head in a ring on a string. Yes, that would be fun, but our house is so small, this thing on a string would bump into the wall. My mother, I know, would not like that at all. So maybe some other good kind of pet, another kind maybe is what we should get. We might find a new kind, a pet who is tall, a tall pet who fits in a space that is small. My mother might like this pet best of them all. If we had a big tent, then we would be able to take home a yent. Dad would like us to have a good yent, but how do I know he would pay for a tent? So you see how it is when you pick out a pet. How can you make up your mind what to get? But what if we took one of each kind of pet? Then our house would be full of the pets we would get. No, Dad would be mad. We can only have one. If we do not choose, we will end up with none. I will do it right now. I will do it, I said. I will make up the mind that is up in my head. The dog? Or the rabbit? The fish? Or the cat? I picked one out fast and then that was that. What pet do you think is in there? It's Flame and Board time. We have 5 fancy fish. 5 fancy fish at the pet store. I'll buy one for my mommy. And now there are 4 fancy fish looking at me. I'll get one for my daddy. And now there are 3 3 fancy fish in a fishbowl they outgrew. I'll get one for my grandma. And that leaves 2. 2 fancy fish, scales shining in the sun. I'll get one for my grandpa. And now there is just 1. 1 fancy fish swimming just for fun. I'll take this one home with me. And now there are none. Flannel board time again. This is called I Went to the Pet Store, and we're going to be working with rhymes. Rhymes are words that have the same ending sound. I went to the pet store and made a special wish. The pet that I wanted was a very special, what word rhymes with wish? Fish. Very good. I went to the pet store and made a special wish. The pet that I wanted was a very special fish. I went to the pet store. I went there at a jog to get a pet with a wagging tail. It was a little, what word rhymes with jog? Dog, you're right. I went to the pet store. I went there at a jog to get a pet with a wagging tail. It was a little dog. I went to the pet store. It had become a habit. The pet I wanted now was a soft, fluffy, what word rhymes with habit? Rabbit. You're right. I went to the pet store. It had become a habit. The pet I wanted now was a soft, fluffy rabbit. I went to the pet store. I'm sure this sounds absurd, but the pet I wanted was a colorful, flying, what word rhymes with absurd? Bird. You're right. I went to the pet store. I'm sure this sounds absurd, but the pet I wanted was a colorful, flying bird. I went to the pet store. It was no mistake. What I really wanted now was a hissing green, what word rhymes with mistake? Snake. You're right. I went to the pet store. It was no mistake. What I really wanted now was a hissing green snake. My next book is called Can I Be Your Dog? Written and illustrated by Troy Cummings and read with permission from Penguin Random House. Can I be your dog? Dear people at Yellow House, woof! Can I be your dog? I am potty trained and I have my own squeaky bone. Squeak, squeak. Also, I love to play. I see you have a cat, but I'm willing to work with you. Who's the good dog? I am. Sincerely, Arfie. P.S. I know every house on Butternut Street, but I asked you first. Dear Arfie, we're so sorry, but you cannot be our dog. Our cat is, allergic to dogs. Good luck in your search. The Honeywells. Dear butcher lady, can I be your dog? I think your butcher shop would be a great place for a puppy like me. I could keep the floor nice and clean. Arfie. Look, pal, I've got a bone to pick with you. Last time I let a dog into my shop, a dozen meatballs went missing. Sorry, but there's no way I'm taking in a pooch. Veronica Shank, Butcher. P.S. No hard feelings. Enjoy these dried giblets and good luck finding a home. Nom, nom, nom. Dear Fire Station number 5, can I be your dog? I can fetch your boots. Plus, let's just say I know my way around a fire hydrant. I've sniffed out every single one on Butternut Street, and yours is the shiniest. Arfie. Dear applicant, thank you for your interest in working with the Butternut Street Fire Station. Unfortunately, the position of fire dog has already been filled. We will keep your letter on file. Best wishes in your search. Station number 5. Dear junkyard guy, I'm not gonna lie, you're my next to last choice, but these past few days have been rough. So please, can I be your dog? I don't eat much and I can bark if people try to steal your junk and stuff. Hopefully yours, Arfie. Dear Mutt, get lost. Dear last house on Butternut Street, can I be your dog? I see that your yard is full of weeds and your windows are broken and there's a funny smell, but I'm not picky, just lonely. Arfie. From Arfie in the soggy box in the alley to the last house on Butter Street. The letter says return to sender, nobody at this address. Aroo! Arfie got a letter. Dear Arfie, can I be your person? I need a friend who will be with me no matter what. Snow, rain, heat, or gloom of night. And I see that you already know everyone on Butternut Street. I know you'll make a first-class partner with hugs and head scratches. Mitzi Whipple, letter carrier. P.S. If you agree, meet me at the big blue mailbox. Oh, she's waiting at the mailbox. Do you think he'll come? Oh, there he comes. Dear Mitzi, you know what? My tail has been wagging ever since I got your note. My answer is yes. Truly yours, Arfie. P.S. Woof. Scritch, scratch. It's flannel board time again. Can you help me with bingo? When we take down a letter, we're gonna clap. There was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, and Bingo was his name. Oh, there was a farmer who had a dog and Bingo was his name. Oh, and Bingo was his name. Oh, okay. Another flannel board is called 5 Little Dogs. One little dog went out to play outside in the grass one day. He had such enormous fun, he called for another dog to come. Bow wow. 2 little dogs went out to play outside in the grass one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another dog to come. Arf, arf. 3 little dogs went out to play outside in the grass one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another dog to come. Ruff, ruff, ruff. 4 little dogs went out to play outside in the grass one day. They had such enormous fun, they called for another dog to come. Woof, 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 woof. 5 little dogs went out to play outside in the grass one day. They had such enormous fun, and they ran home when the day was done. Okay, our story time is over for today, so we'll sing our goodbye song now. Story time is over now, over now, over now. Story time is over now. It's time to say goodbye.